Hello viewers, my name is Deborah Baba and you're watching I Am Best TV. Today, I have a great personality who has done so much for himself and still doing more. He is intelligent, humble, and respectful. So far, he has received some prestigious awards for his humanitarian services, contributions, and growth of his people. Also, he has traveled outside the shores of this country. That's to tell you how far he has gone. You'll get to meet him after the commercial, so stay connected and keep watching IamBest TV. My name is Deborah Mbaba. God is in charge.
My name is Chigudu Tanko Theophilus, a native of Ushafa village of the FCT Buari area council to be precise. Okay, I was born in the mid 80s. I was born 1985 to be precise. July 24th in as at that time it was a remote village, Ushafa village. Which is now popular and famous as a result of Bill Clinton's visit. Growing up, I was privileged. I consider myself as one of the privileged kids that grew up in Ushafa village because my dad was a lawyer, and but then we were in the village. So at the time of my birth, Dad was still in school, and he was called to buy, I think in 1990 or 92 or thereabout. So growing up was partly on the farm, going to primary school. I walked barefooted as well, and it wasn't easy growing up in a community with no electricity, lacked the exposure our kids have now. So it was a mixture of fun, stress, the pressure of growing up in a remote village in the FCT then. Okay, I think every child has a lot of dreams. Yeah, I had a lot of dreams, and sometimes I still wonder, and I asked myself, what really was my dream? I just know I wanted to be a lot of things. I grew up at a point when football was taking shape in the country. Then I think I remember 1994, where people like JJ, Peter Rufai, the goalkeeper, Rashidi Ekin and co were trending. So at some point I wanted to be a footballer. Yeah, and then sometimes I wanted to be an engineer. The word engineer, word lawyer, and what have you. Every child wanted to be a pilot, an engineer, and all that. I wanted to be a footballer, really. Then later, because I watched an action movie where I think later on I got to find out that the title was Hard Way, the Only Way. There was a black man who was more like a warrior in that movie. So every child loved an action film, so I wanted to be a soldier. But then later, when reality dawned on me, and I think in my late primary schools, then we had relocated from Ushafa down to Buari. I think we moved to Buari in 1993. Started my primary school in Ushafa, early primary school Ushafa, and I was transferred to Usman Dam, though a government school, but it was more or less like a private school. There we had children of the elites, because Usman Dam, it's a federal government settlement then where you have elites, civil servants. So my dad transferred us to Usman Dam. Then when we moved back to Buhari, I had to move to Pilot Science Primary School, Buhari. And that was when I actually, I think I found my dream. I wanted to be a lawyer. I still want to be a lawyer.
No.
So and then I didn't know my dad was a lawyer. I just knew my dad was working. He goes to work. He loved wearing suits and all that. But then when I found out dad was a lawyer, I was too shy to tell him I wanted to be a lawyer. Yeah, but I think he wanted one of his own to be a lawyer. But I didn't want him to think it's because of him I wanted to become a lawyer. So I've always wanted to be a lawyer. But of course, you plan, God has his own. Yeah, so I think the story changed. I didn't study law, but I hope to study law someday. Okay, I am blessed, really. And for those that knows me, knows that if I'm to make 10 sentences on daily basis, I think out of 10, 2 has to do with my family. And I don't walk alone. Till date, you still find me traveling with it's either one of my siblings by my side and then a friend. My family has been an integral part of my life. The foundation, the love, the concern, the care, just to ensure that I am who and what I am today. So and then my dad was a disciplinarian, you know. He was rarely at home. He was more or less like a soldier then, one of the first lawyers around. So he was always traveling. He goes to neighboring state to court and what have you. So my mom, my uncles, they all played a vital role in my life. Like I know my mom. Yeah, my mom and my uncle, who is a barrister now, taught me how to read and write. I didn't actually learn how to read and write in school. Like, you know, primary school, in early primary school, sometimes they teach you in Gbagi. So my uncle then, he was in secondary school also, and my mom, they taught me how to read and write. So they've been this part of me, and my family shaped my moral. You know, so every family has values that conditions how they live. So I think I am blessed, and then I have one of the most amazing family that till today I'm still scared of doing wrong. Like there are things I want to do, like there are things every child grew up doing, but of course, you know, a typical baggy family, see, they don't take nonsense from their kids. So as old as I am, my dad is late, but there are things I really want to do. Sometimes I'm always scared that dad might come out from somewhere and then give me a heavy knock. So, but till date, my family has been an integral part of my life. So there's nothing I do that they don't play a role. You get, so whatever I become, whoever I am today, I owe largely to God and my family. Okay, should I don't know, but it's all about setting your priorities right. Yeah, like I said earlier, that my dad was a lawyer, and he combined, like, he's the most workaholic person I've ever seen in this life. You get, like, he was a father, he was a husband, he was a practicing lawyer, he was a civil servant, and also, of course, he was into a lot of things. So I grew up around people that combined a couple of things. And of course, you can't be a Nigerian and survive on one source of income. So, but it has to do more with setting your priorities right. I know what works for me. By the time you know what works for you, you apply that on a daily basis, and then you have a seamless, stress-free exercise. Yes, I work. I think I do a lot of things. I do a lot of things, and if anybody tells you it's easy, then that person is not telling you the truth. But it's about knowing yourself, what works for you, and then setting your priorities right. I would have said I always dreamt or wanted to be successful, but success is a relative term. So I've always wanted to be, whatever I set out to do, I want to be at the top. I've always wanted to. So I'm not where I actually want to be, or dreamt of being. And then sometimes, like a few days ago, I was telling a couple of friends that I don't think I have a dream right now, like because, but if I do have a dream, my dream would be helping others realize their own dreams.
Yeah.
So because I'm work in progress, so I want to get to the peak of my career. Like, okay, for instance, I'm a civil servant. So if I devote myself to civil service, which I am currently, my target will be becoming a director, PAMSEC, or if there's anything above that, you understand. And then if I decide I want to run for politics,
Yeah.
I want to be the president of Nigeria. You
Interesting.
get? So my dream basically is to get there, to break boundaries, do what others ordinarily think I cannot do. If I say I'm successful, that would appear like I'm blowing my trumpet, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful to God for what I have, who I am, and where I am at the moment. So, and I'm not there yet. I'm not there, so I'm still working towards that goal, and hopefully, at the right time, I will get there. So, if I to give a definite answer, I would say that I'm on it. I'm on it, yeah. Okay, I try to avoid questions about politics, and I think one of your colleagues in IamBest, we've had times without a couple of discussions about politics, about governance, and yes, I wanted to run for office. Let me start from there. I wanted to run for office in the FCT board, and then I I made up my mind to do that for a couple of reasons, to serve, and then because I have passion for empowering people, for entrepreneurship, for growth basically. And but one sure way to achieve that is sometimes through politics. You get, because as little as salt is, the prices of salt is influenced by political decisions. And I realized long ago that it's either you are part of, we can clamor for change, embark on protest, and write papers, do whatever it is at our disposal. But if you are not there, or you do not have the right person on board, nothing changes. You get? So I hope that this message gets out. But then I love politics, and so in the course of my consultation to run for office, a lot of things happened, and I shared with a friend that I'm from the FCT. Right, we're faced with a lot a lot of problems that needs political angle. You know, then we have the economic angle to our problems. We have the political angle to our problem. We have the social cultural that has to do with us as a people. Now, if for a young person, I actually realized that there's no agenda in the FCT. Take it or leave it. There is no agenda to accommodate the youths. I'm very young, and then because of my consultation, I went round. You get, a couple of people would always say, Theophilus, you're still young, you're way too young to run for politics, and what have you. You get, and then when I sit down, I think I am way too qualified. Let me use that word. I'm way too qualified than some politicians we have. But that it is an interesting game. But I got to realize that there's no plan, no agenda for the youths. Then how do we now liberate ourselves? Who then goes there for us? Yeah, so, but what we have, it's a group of people that have formed what I call a cartel, that they are not ready to allow anybody break through. But then it seems that we gradually, the people, the youths are realizing that power is actually not given, most especially political power is not given, it's taken. But I'm not, and I've never been, and I hope never to be, an advocate of violence, but that the period we are at the moment calls for and understanding calls for a rallying point amongst the people I belong to. You get, first, a baggy person. Secondly, a native of FCT. That when we talk about politics among the baggy people, we're basically talking about leadership. And then the whole baggy nation generally, we lack what we call a rallying point. So some of these things formed my resolve to want to run for politics, to represent. Now, people on a daily normal usage, where common language is the pidgin, people say, where you they work now, they chop. But I wasn't motivated because of what I stand to gain financially. Of course, I'm by God's grace doing well for myself, and if I stay off politics, I can comfortably take care of myself, my family, and support whoever it is I want to support. But that thing with desire, that change with desire in the FCT, in Niger, Kaduna, in Nigeria generally, cannot be achieved, no matter how financially buoyant you are. Without political will, without political power, some things would remain unchanged. So we have to step up. And then I wanted to offer myself, but a couple of factors played out. This the domination by the political class already, and then we have this the question of you not being financially strong and buoyant like the political class in existence. So, and other factors made me relax at the moment. But I'm not saying I want to run for politics someday. Of course I will. I want to be the president of Nigeria, and I will be. But we have to understand that until the youths come to terms with the fact that we are one. What affects you in Niger affects me in the FCT. What affects you in Taraba affects me in Adamawa State. Let's come together and understand that we need to step up our game. We need to ask questions. We need to form political associations to channel our cause. And then with that, it's a step already. Okay. Okay. First, being a good leader and qualifying whatever qualification you have, there are two different things you get, and it has nothing to do with the qualifications you have. I just consider myself privileged to have what I have, to be where I am, to be who I am. All right. There are people that have 5 PhDs, 10 masters, professors, but are the worst leaders that has ever ascended to any political position. So I want to believe that I have paid my dues, I have learned the craft, I have studied, I have prepared myself, and I'm work in progress. You get, so if given the right opportunity, leadership is not a one-man business. And then why we fail it, because the moment I am elected or appointed a leader somewhere, I assume the position of a demigod. So you're not ready to listen. So leadership is about listening, asking the right question, and being open to advice. So to be a good leader entails, it's not difficult, it's not rocket science to be a good leader. Right? I have seen leaders rise and fall. If you know what I studied history in Ahmadu Bello University, and we studied wars and conquest, what makes men fall. You get, and some will come out and tell you that no, it's easy. No, leadership is not easy, but then it comes with a lot of challenges. But these challenges makes you a success. So if you're ready to tackle these challenges head on, if you're ready to have the right team to work with you, you're calm, you're humble, and then humility settles everything. So I think I will be a good leader if I open up to learn from those before me. If I am ready to learn from my elders, if I'm ready to learn and then set up committees, set up a team that would work with you, leadership of inclusiveness. All right, so I will be a good leader. So I think I will be a good leader first and foremost. If I am given the opportunity to serve, I will be a good leader because I am a learner. So I'm a student and a product of history. So I know what it means to learn and know what it means to serve. Do I think our leaders in the FCT are doing well? Yeah. Okay, that's one question I wasn't expecting, but yes, they are doing well. First for themselves.
Okay.
Yeah. And if I tell you they are doing well for the people generally, it's I won't be saying the truth. All right. I hope I can be as honest as possible here, but that FCT is evolving, and leadership in the FCT is still growing. All right. And so if talking about our leaders doing well, well, a couple of them, all right, a couple of them are doing the best they can with what they have. I believe if you don't, whatever you don't have, you can't give it. All right. So I can mention names, I can cite examples of leaders that are doing well in the FCT, but I think there's a lot that they can do for the people. Okay. First things first, winning an election doesn't end there. It's a continuous process. Governance is a continuous process. And until the leaders of FCT realize that the largest constituency, the constituency they represent are the people, the very day they put the people first, the cry for liberation, emancipation will be a thing of the past. But yes, we have a lot of challenges in FCT. And like I said earlier, leadership isn't easy. All right. But until they realize that I'm there not for myself, but for the people who represent. There's no day that passes by, there is no minute that passes by that we don't discuss our problems. There's no day we are not faced with issues or questions of leadership in the FCT. But then the problem is not because we do not have leaders. The problem is not because there are no problems. And then the question is not because we do not have the right people to govern us or to lead us. All right. The problem is readiness, willingness to do the needful for your people. For instance, every politician in the FCT, every leader in the FCT, political and traditional, your largest constituency, your most populated constituency is the youth. But then we have the largest number in North Central of unemployed youths in the FCT. All right. And then talking about economic backwardness, FCT always tops the chart. Not because we do not have leaders. Gone are these people who come and say FCT indigenes are not educated, we've not gone to school, we have no ideas. But my dear, if you want 1 million proposals today that will change the course of Nigerian history, not just FCT, look for the Gwandara man, look for the Gbagi man, look for the Koro man of FCT, and all the indigenous tribes. We are just 9 ethnic groups in the FCT. All right. So, but then it's also a burden. Let me be soft on some leaders. Okay. It's also a burden on them because we have 1 senator against 108 in Nigeria. All right. So you fight 108 senators for what is rightfully yours. We have 2 House of Reps as against 65 or so. You get, we have just 2 in the FCT. So the burden, it's on them. But however, they can lighten this burden. That is why we have it. That is why we have people to help us. All right, like I said earlier, leadership is about inclusiveness. Now, the day our leaders realize that the fact that you are not from my village, the fact that you are not from my family, but you have what it takes to be empowered, you have what it takes to be supported financially and what have you to start up a business, that is the beginning of our liberation. But then FCT has a long way to go until our leaders realize that they need the people, they are there for the people and also need the people to survive. So it's about them owning up. All right. So we have a sitting senator, right, that has what it takes to make thousands of youths in the FCT financially self-independent and reliant. The question is, what are they doing? Every local government in the FCT is occupied by an indigene. The question also is that, what are our indigenous politicians doing? The reason why you see somebody from Adamawa State, somebody from Niger, somebody from Kaduna coming to drag, or from the East coming to drag our positions in the FCT is because the ones we have not been able to manage us. So you're leaving loopholes for people to see and come in. Okay, fine, if they are not doing this for their people, because the highest number of people that complains on daily basis on social media seems to be from the FCT. But how do we check this? It's about holding our leaders accountable. It's for our leaders owning up and to, okay, this is our project. Let's do this thing together. We can actually do it. Like I said earlier, it's not rocket science. But leadership in the FCT needs to step up. Yeah. Okay, I try as much as possible not to talk about the marginalization of FC because oftentimes I've been misquoted. You get, but well, who cares? Let's set records straight. Let's play our part, and then tomorrow we're no more. Whoever comes after us will meet a better FCT. I belong to a group of youths that staged, I think, one of the most successful protests in the FCT about marginalization. We tagged it FCT Marginalized Protest. There, the Senate came out to attend to our needs, and then it set the stage for other engagements with the government. Yes, there have been a lot of protests, there have been a lot of papers. I grew up around a lawyer, my dad, so maybe that's when the idea of calling for the liberation of FCT started. All right, so the marginalization of FCT started with the pronouncement of 1976. First things first, FCT is in the center of Nigeria, all right? But they said relocate FCT to the heart of Nigeria, the center of Nigeria, all right? Then take FCT to a land where no ethnic group holds sway, no ethnic group dominates that place. But that was a lie on its own. Take FCT to a fertile land that has no government, but no, that was also a lie because we were part of Niger State, Kwara State, Kogi State, the then Plateau, Benue States. We were carved. And then take FCT to a virgin land. Abuja, it wasn't a virgin land. There were and still about 880 something communities in the FCT inhabited by the indigenous population of the FCT. Now, what the government didn't do is seek the consent, discuss with the people to know what they had to play. Those that sat down, the Aguda panel by Justice Aguda, to go around Nigeria and some states to ascertain the likely place for the establishment of the new federal capital, they didn't do justice to Nigerians. And then, of course, the people of FCT, because we were denied our rights, constitutional rights, we were denied. For instance, if I want to apply to study law anywhere in the country, Nigeria, FCT natives have no quota in Nigerian university. So it is either you're claiming another state, and that is wrong on its own, or you apply as an indigenous of FCT and forfeit that admission. So the marginalized, yes, we are marginalized. Government has marginalized us. We were displaced with little or no compensation. For instance, when the draft document came for the resettlement of the FCT, the question we asked every day is who was consulted in the FCT, who represented the FCT. But then there were representatives from the then Niger State, Kwara, who protected their own interest. And then at some point, Obasanjo made the relocation optional. If you want to leave FCT, you are free to leave. Now, till today, we have a constitution. We are in democracy. But FCT, like I said, has one senator. They said FCT should or shall be treated as if it were one of the states of the federation. The question I ask journalists and others or students of history or whoever cares to listen is, are we treated as if we are one of the states of the federation? If we were, why don't we have a mayor? If we were, why don't we have an indigenous minister representing us as Federal Executive Council? So what we are now clamoring for, I said it the other day on air also, that yes, we have been marginalized, the government isn't helping us. Then there comes the role of the people. If we have been marginalized for long, what about now? Who is marginalizing who? Our leaders, the government, or the indigenous people of FCT? So there are issues that until we understand what truly matters, what we truly need, no matter how hard we try, we will be beating about same thing. Whatever goes around, they say, comes around. So we'll still be revolving around some same issue. So first things first is to work on the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. whether Buhari decide to give us an indigenous minister today of any ministry, the next president might come and decide that he doesn't want us because it is not enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So you might. And then what the people are actually asking for is not the minister of Federal Capital Territory. We want a minister of the Federal Republic, somebody from the FCT. But to our leaders and politicians that seems to limit this struggle for ministerial appointment or mayoral status, the question is what happened to the former mayor of FCT? Don't we learn from our history? The point is, Mr. President, whoever decides that, okay, he might decide to appoint an FCT minister today, and the constitution hasn't been amended. So the next president comes and decides that, no, it's a choice. It wasn't gazetted. It's not in the constitution. So let's scrap anybody from the FCT. So our call should be for the amendment of the 1999 constitution again to accommodate FCT. Give us a state. We have the two things forms FCT, the Federal Capital Territory and the Federal Capital City. One to be governed by the federal government, the other to be administered by the people. So if this anomaly is corrected, our problem would have been solved. But every day you have people going on air, talk about one indigenous minister. No, we want our constitution to be amended to favor the people of FCT. So until we stop that. So lastly, on this issue of marginalization, our people are now marginalizing us. All right? Because without economic power, they know that if you're not empowered, there are certain things you cannot do. So until our leaders, our big shots in the society decide that, okay, it is time, realizes now, not later, that we need to empower ourselves. The cry for Niger data emancipation and what have you succeeded because they were economically empowered. We are educated now. We have every profession. We have professionals. We have professors. We have PhD holders. We have professionals in different fields. All we need is this empowerment. Then our politicians rally around and see how to influence the amendment of our constitution. Okay, I want to believe I have actually done. I'm trying. All right. I do whatever it takes to make my life better, to get better. All right. So whatever it is I have, wherever I am right now, it's a conscious effort and then the support of a couple of people around me. So and then I don't have savings. All right. I'm not too shy to say that I don't keep money in my account, and I don't even keep money at home, because if I'm making ₦1 million today, if I'm making ₦1,000 today, there are lots of people, lots of things I really want to do. So I think I wake up every day looking forward to helping someone. So I cannot list out what it is I have done within this short period of time that I've been alive. Well, I think that I look forward to reaching out to people. So when I say I don't have money in my account, yes, money comes in, but it goes. All right, because I look out for opportunities. I support people financially to start or whatever business they want to. Yes, if you want to have little records, myself and a couple of others try to organize programs for people, training workshop on entrepreneurship and other things. We supply writing materials to schools, and every year I support a couple of students between 30 and 40, 50 to sit for their jams. It's just the little that I think, and then I do not see myself as a philanthropist, all right, because I'm probably suspecting you asked that next question. I do not see myself as a philanthropist, and then I hate the title humanitarian because it is not a title. It is not a profession. It is not a career. It is you being human. It is you reaching out to help people. So now if I fix this road to my house that I ply every day with my car, does that make me a philanthropist? I'm doing what I will benefit. So if I support a young child today to sit for JAMA, you pass, and I help you get an admission, pay your school fees, I'm equally helping myself. All right, so that tomorrow you will do same for others. The target is reach one, teach one, reach one, and help others. So I am not a philanthropist. I'm just a human being that desires to help, that desires to see that everybody has food to eat, at least a square meal a day. I love my family. First things first, my family tops the chart, and I think one of the questions you asked earlier, it's about my family growing up. My family is an integral part of my life. The good thing about my family is that they understand. All right, they understand. Wherever I am, the first people I think of is reaching out to my family. So my family doesn't constitute a distraction, rather an addition. They add to whatever it is I'm doing out there, and I discuss most of my projects with my family. So I'm a family person, really. I work with my family, like I go places with my family. Yes, and part of my family are my friends. All right, I am lucky to have wonderful friends too that have been so supportive, and I have an amazing woman who has been very understanding and supportive. Of course, I'm sure you know my little friend Lala and Otsnell. So my family is everything. So it's family is never a distraction if you understand the values of a family and the importance of a family. So wherever I go, you may not see them in the physical, but just know that the strength I exhibit out there comes from my family. Okay, I will be speaking on the 25th of July at Sheraton as a guest speaker, and the topic I was given is having a valid dream. And I try not to tag myself as a motivational speaker. If there's anything like speaker of all genres, speaker of all topic, like we have a writer of all genres, I talk about any topic you give me. If I don't know it, I'll go and research. But talking about dream, like I said, I don't know if I have a dream right now, but my dream is to help others achieve theirs. So for young ones to succeed, young ones to make it, even amidst this economic hardship, is first things first, know thyself. Understand yourself, know what you can do for yourself and by yourself. Everything in the country right about now can bring you money, can put food on your table, but you must be willing to learn a craft. So I think if you are in the university, learn a craft. If you are serving, learn a craft. One of one thing I often say is that I'm someone that doesn't regret my actions. But if I have any regrets, it will probably be not learning a skill while in the school. You get, not learning a skill. So it is expedient at the moment that every Nigerian, old and young, learn a craft, learn a skill that will sustain you. If you're a civil servant, go out there and learn one craft or the other. So we will survive by first learning also a craft, because entrepreneurship is the new oil in the world right about now. So every young person should do that, and then should also create an enabling environment for themselves. All right. First, there are lots of things I would want to say in that regard, but every Nigerian is hardworking, every young Nigerian. As a matter of fact, the economic situation and the condition in the country, you don't have a choice, so you must work, all right? And I said earlier, know yourself, all right? Crime is never an escape route for anything. So I would advise that if you're young, it means you have that energy to work hard. It means you have that energy to create. It means you have that strength to go places. So do it now and not later. All right. Look forward to a future where you sit down with no regret, but success story. Network with people. Research on trending issues that would help you grow, but then be humble. Humility sets everything straight. I think every Nigerian is doing well for himself right about now, but then the government, on the other hand, should create an enabling environment for businesses to grow, to accommodate young Nigerians. I think we will go places. Thank you. I'm proud of what you people are doing. I'm glad to be one of those that have seen this project grow. I look forward to partnership in the future. Thank you so much. God is always in charge.
Alright guys, that was it with Dr. Theophilus Chigudu. Keep watching I Am Best TV. My name is Deborah Dambaba. God is in charge.